Folks, let me check the audio here. Just make sure everything's fine. Yep, sounds good. So there we go. Get the game started up. How are you all doing? I see in chat got just I say that my stow window pops open over on a different monitor than normal right in front of my chat. It's over. The Chrome Nuke, Martin, Merkstar, Sasa, John, how y'all doing? Chow? Casual gamer? Yes, I am a very casual player, and I have made a lot of other casual players upset with my comments about the Farragut trait. Sasha? Oh, okay. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Let's see here. I'm gonna go through, do a round of just checking to see if anything is sold on these characters. Um, yeah, fun fact. I have actually gone to a point with the character that I'm using for that 0 to 2 billion EC series where I've just had to start deleting DOFs. Like it's not really a secret to say that the approach that I'm going with is going to be focused on duty officers because that's a bulk of the market. Um, but like doing the EC challenge series so far has it's shown to me one of the reasons. Like I already knew this, but it's just really emphasized it, and I'll have to talk about this in the series. But the reason people have the reason the general population has a hard time making EC on the the exchange is because you have to be able to understand at a fairly good level how builds work in order to effectively use the exchange and to profit off of things. If you need to be someone, even if you're not a min-max player, you need to at least have the understanding of the game to be able to go and look at a build, like a meta build that's posted online, see the items on it, and then figure out which of those items is something that is, on the exchange, see what the source of it is. And people that can figure out, that can look at a meta build, figure out the items on it that can be sold on the exchange, and are then able to go and research and find where those items come from. Those are the people that are the most successful on the exchange. They're not necessarily, people actually doing min-max runs or anything like that. There's plenty of traders out there that, they've never even done an elite, basically. Your new Dolph trash can. Well, I went out and bought some duty officer slots the other day, remember? So I actually have on this Fed character, I have a bit of room now because I was at 300 before. I cleared out all of the DOFs that I had in my mail, and I put them on this character. I have never, yeah, I've never done Elite Shell, never. Nothing has really sold on this character since the last time I was on, which is unfortunate. Playing the market is another feature of endgame, yes, and there are some people out there where that is their entire endgame. Um, not many people go down the route of like getting into elite content for a good reason because there's a limited player base that does it, and it's there's no rewards for it. There's no rewards to justify your time investment or resource investment in a build for elite content because the rewards for elite content, that they put those in there how many years ago, and they've just the rewards like the crafting materials, who cares? Now that the crafting material is or the crafting system is so old, everyone has everything they need from it. There's no, like big meta pieces that people go after in it. No, people aren't even really running like the RCS accelerators anymore. The the science ones. They just not many people use this stuff anymore. Let me move this mic a little bit. Martin, you stocked up for the Farragut? I know Martin was looking to prepare for the Farragut, so um I don't remember if I showed this off on the stream I did last week, but I was setting up this temporal destroyer, and I took it into a run yesterday. I wasn't too happy about it. It's beam overload. Beam overload just never feels good to me after having used things like CSV and uh, torpedoes. Nick, how's it going, man? But I got 457 with this on my Fed Psi, beam overload, anti-proton. So it was. I mean, it's fun to fly, but I don't know how much I'll end up using it just because I really beam overload's not my thing. I know a lot of people like it, and I will be doing some more builds about it because I've seen the demand for it. Which actually leads me into a question I'll ask now, and I'll probably ask again a little bit later when more people are in. Um, what ships, like, what is the ship that you would most want to see me do a beam overload build for? Like, what ship out there, would you guys want to see like a dedicated build video for with beam overload? The universe, I still am debating on how to do that universe build, and that's just the issue with the reason that hasn't come out yet is just because like been busy doing the warships grind with the dockyard. Uh, had some real life stuff going on. Um, I do need to get that build done though, and I will. I might do beam overload on it, to be honest. Like, I doing a torque boat on the universe is rough. With the way the seating is on it, and I don't think torque boats should really get recommended as often as they do. EPG build on the universe, terrible. Webs, how you doing? D7. Nick and Chell are saying the mail on, and I know they're trolling. Former con member. Yeah, I use the only BOF token I got, the free one, on my Jem'Hadar, on one of my Jem'Hadar Vanguards, yes. Just fully lean into the lance and it will do fine. That's an interesting idea, honestly. I like that, Chell. I might take some time and look into that. That is something unique for that. That would be interesting. I posted things on a bunch of characters, and I don't think anything is really sold. Speaking of D7, got this beam overload build on mine, and I've been using this in HSEs. It does fairly well in the HSEs. In fact, I think I recorded my last one. Oregon Dread, yeah. What time did we do this HSE run yesterday? The day before. It's 42. Oh, that's not it. I could have sworn I recorded these runs yesterday. I'm trying to find this HSC run that I did. I think it's because I'm like an hour off. I know I recorded it, or at least I thought I did. Yesterday? Yeah, I can't find the video. But yeah, I was using this in HSE for a lot of my recent runs, and it's been doing well in there. The tier 4.5 Mir Vokuv. I don't even remember what the stats are on that. Mir Vokuv. That'd be good too, because that'd be a way for me to like get some market manipulation and get some of my T5 ship boxes sold. Oh, that's a brutal bridge officer seating. What do I think the most overrated ship in Stowe is? The Miracle Worker Donnie. It's not a bad ship, but it's highly like people go way too nuts for it. Yeah, Chell, I like that idea though of an EPG Lance, like a build on the Enterprise J to boost up the Lance. That I might, and if I do that on the Valkis, then I could also use the Romulan drone ships. Dark Ghost, how you doing? Yeah, the Mir Vokuv could be interesting. I mean, that's the thing with Beam Overload is it works on literally everything. That's the good thing about it. Hey B, how's it going, man? But yeah, this build it's been doing fairly well in the HSCs I've taken it into. Rob, thank you for the membership, man. 8 months. Been a long time. Just think about what we were doing 8 months ago. All the ISE runs. That was just as we were starting to do splits, wasn't it? Like just as we started to figure them out. You like the name of the ship? Yes. Nick gave me this ship. Very, very generous Australian. And yeah, him being Australian, had to name it appropriately. Let's see. I don't think I've done any other builds on this character recently. Taking T1s into regular TFOs. Now that's fun. For me, when it comes to TFOs, if I'm not doing a DPS run, what I enjoy is the solo aspect. Can I go in and uh solo the instance? So for me, I'm thinking on Black Friday, and I'm thinking that I might go out and get the captain. I'm on category. I actually do want the legendary TOS captain bundle, and I think I might try to get it at Black Friday. With the explicit intention to get the trait for some solo runs, like some solo hive elites. Because I actually last year I did a solo HSC with the Inquiry, with Beam Overload. I don't remember if I put that up on a video or like up on YouTube or not, but this trait would have made that a hell of a lot better. So I might go out and get this ship at Black Friday just explicitly so I can use it for solo runs. The trait, that is. Ideas for trolling Triz. Anyone? Triz does not like the Ent J. Like that's we all know that. But there's something that I've been using whenever we're trolling Triz, and I also used this on Stu's stream last week. It's a console, I think, off of one of the lower tier Daredexes. So let me swap over to my Valkis here. I've got too many ships. There it is. Ignore the build on this ship. It's, you know how it is with a lot of ships you have. You just use them for gear storage. Yeah, I've got a few things up Black Friday that I would like to get. The legendary Miranda, in the captain's bundle, the TOS captain bundle. I would also like to get that mirror bundle, the mirror universe bundle, with the legendary Galax. And I think my other goal is probably going to be to grab. They don't have it in here right now, but the Into Darkness Muds bundle I would like to get. Would I recommend One Big Happy Fleet as a top tier solo trait? I think on an energy weapon build it could be really good. That's what I want to get it for to try it out. Okay, so the console that I've been using on this ship when I'm like trolling with it, so I'll use Mannheim. Mannheim is um really nice to have duplicates of yourself appear. And then for the other console, it's like you find it here. It's one of the Romulan ones from one of the lower tier. Gotta find the icon here. I just had it on this build too. I don't know why it took it off my inventory. I think this is molecular. Yeah, this is it. The molecular phase inversion field. Um, didn't spend. Okay, I'm missing a few messages here. JB, you been delving into Tetron lately? Any weapon type's good. Tetron can do really well. 8 months ago, didn't Spencer have a beard 8 months ago? I don't remember. I remember that at one point I just went in and I just went and cut it all off. I don't remember when that was. 11th anniversary bundle? Yeah, the 11th anniversary bundle I think is underrated. It gets a lot of flack, and it's not the best deal in the game for sure. But given that it's 6 ships, and you do get some other things in it, I don't think it's the worst bundle in the game. Slime Devil Shield, yeah, that will upset Triz. Black Friday, let me pull it up. I was actually looking at this yesterday. Black Friday. So if we look at last year, the cat back on. This was the sale last year. It was the Zen Charge bonus. 25% off everything in the C store. And then there was a mud sale because they had put out a new muds bundle, and then they did the 75% sale on all the non-bundle stuff in the mud store. So I would expect Black Friday this year to be fairly similar. But it's possible that it's not as good, as it was last year. I mean, the 2021 Black Friday sales were not as good as the 2020 ones. Sleep, I have not. I have not really done a ton of new games recently. The only game that I've been looking at recently that I've been like really interested in is did I there it is, Terra Invicta. This looks a bit neat to me. It's just come out in early access and it's it looks pretty neat. It's like a blend of forget what people were saying, like there's some XCOM elements, some Stellaris elements. There's like a few elements from a couple of different games. Best build for the Fakiri ships this Halloween. The only Fakiri ship that I think I've used recently was the Goktad. I think I'm getting terrible. Terrible, Nick. But yeah, hopefully Black Friday is closer to what we had in 2020 rather than 2021. Um, but I do want to like get ready and start preparing for those sales so I can pick up a few things that I've been wanting. The Goktad, the Goktad was my favorite Fakiri ship. Um, you can do a lot of really nice stuff on that. It worked as a tanking platform, worked as torps, worked as like a side torp platform. It's a very versatile ship. I haven't actually played any Gundam game Sleep. This Black Friday, I'm getting the lifetime membership. I don't know if they're doing a sale on the lifetime at Black Friday. I don't know if they did last year, actually. Let me... It's Windows... I don't remember if they did last year. Yeah, so you may have to wait on the lifetime sale. Yeah, Black Friday will be end of November. Okay. I got off track there. The reason I like this console on the Valkys, the molecular phase inversion field, is that part of the clicky is that it removes your hitbox and you can clip into other people. So with this console, do I not have engines on? Yes, I do. It's like you see that there's a group of people behind me. I'm gonna fly around into them, and I'm gonna activate the console, which is not currently on my tray, it seems. Oh no, here it is. I can use this to clip through these people. If I can fly. So when I activate the console, I have no hitbox and I can literally fly right through other players. And when you do this, for Stu or Triz, when they're getting people all grouped up together to take a picture, I can just use this to fly right in between their ships, turn it off, and move them around. So it's a really nice troll console for social maps. And then, of course, with the Valkys, if you're trying to spam someone's screen, you got the Mannheim console off the Temporal Destroyers. You just hit that, and it makes duplicates of your ship appear. And, the Valkys is a big ship. Now, having 3 of them flying around is very disruptive to Triz and his immersion. Yeah, I'd say we have about 6 weeks. Black Friday sales are the last last week of November usually, so it is terrible. Let me find is there a fuller instance? No. I want to clip in between a bunch of ships here, so I'm gonna go down here to do it. See, I can literally just fly right into these ships. They're literally in the saucer. Now when I turn this console off, it'll move them apart. So doing that around Triz or Stu, it was funny when I would do that to Stu last week, on his stream, people would constantly be reforming up behind him. Can you clip into the inside of ESD? I don't think so. I think it. Let's check. Yeah, and that's another thing too. I would like to take advantage of the charge bonus with the Black Friday sales to also get Zen ready for the next anniversary event. For that anniversary bundle. I did miss a question about the anniversary bundle. Let me scroll back up here. I think the question was, what other ships do I expect to be in that bundle? I'm expecting one of the old cruisers for sure to be in there, and one of the older Fed-size ships. I feel like this anniversary bundle is just really going back and giving some love to some of the older ship models that have not gotten the attention that they deserve. So let's see if I can clip into ESD with this. I don't think it's going to let me. Nah, I can't get through the hitbox of ESD. And it turned my console off. So that is not allowed. I hope they completely revamp the whole multi-vector console for the Mirror Prometheus. Hopefully. Asgard, how you doing? I guess I need to do some endeavors here. So let me see. I've got right now complete Iconian TFOs. I'll leave that one. I don't remember that, Chell. I didn't use the console that much back in the day. I need to put some split beams into my account bank. I'm trying to do as many endeavors as I can on my second KDF recruit because I just want to get a couple more perk points out of that. And it's a slow grind because I haven't really put anything onto the character to make my life easier. So ground damage, awesome. I know, isn't it, Nick? I don't have a disruptor split beam here. You know what that means? I need to just go through and just make sure I have one split beam for every damage type just sitting uh in my bank so I can just do this stuff a little bit easier. Yeah, okay, that's good. I'm about to waste a ton of resources upgrading this, aren't I? Let's at least I'll be smart and at least try to burn a superior ground experimental upgrade on it. Cloth split beam. Nice, Martin. I wish you luck there, man. Okay, let's see. Trying to do. Big ground. I don't remember. I just need like one experimental without paying a ton for it. Ground gear. Everyone's selling bundles. Go. Just need the one. Well, it didn't go epic, but whatever. Better than nothing. There we go. Yeah, it was not intended, but because it happened, they decided to leave it. They did not intend for you to be able to instantly go in and complete your endeavors after after they increased the cap. That was very much not intended on their part. So this character has like no real investment in any build, so it's a bit brutal. Starship Bridge. And wait. Yeah, they wanted, when they did the update, they had intended for everyone that had completed their endeavors already to need to grind out that extra 150 levels like anyone else. But they messed up, and they said that they have fixed it so that if they ever add more to the endeavor system, then that shouldn't work like that again. because they don't want people to be able to instantly go through and get it. 1,000 at some point, yeah, and that absolutely sucks, being that there's no way to buy it out. I missed a couple questions here, Hans. I got into building some nicer builds recently after playing Stowe on and off for years. I feel like we kind of need a system in Stowe that rewards actually playing and getting better. Yeah, we need elite content to actually have good rewards. Elite not having any good rewards right now just blows. Not gonna do those right. They won't ever put fail conditions back in advanced. They tried that already and it did not go over well with the player base. They lost a ton of people with Delta Rising when they did that. Normal and advanced have to be completely noob friendly. But I think elite needs a bump in difficulty. Honestly, I think a good way for them to do that is, increase the level. Just increase increase the level cap up to like 70 or something. I think that would nice. Yeah. But that's the issue is elite right now just has, a little bit extra to lithium. Who cares? Marks, who cares? Crafting materials, again, who cares? Once you have everything from the reputation system, you don't really care about marks. Marks are just for you to get more to lithium. And for those of you that just play a single character a ton, you end up getting to a point where, like, I had Chili messaging me the other day, saying he was at the cap, on his character of like 10 million unrefined dill. And there's just like dilithium as a reward. For some people, that's cool. But for other people, there needs to be more than just dilithium. I mean, their tutorial being better and explaining things to people would be nice, but we know that's never going to happen.
Operations is locked down. Use the exocomps to get the doors open. Get to the consoles down in the security hub.
I'm gonna die here a ton, just FYI. This character is so poorly built. It's not built at all. I don't even have. I'm ran out of hypos on it. How does that even happen? Where my hypos at? I always scroll past things too fast. They're all the way at the bottom. There we go. I'm just. Chal, am I hurting your immersion yet with this high quality build that I have on this character? Yeah, I thought about. I did this technically with the KDF recruit when that came out, right? I did like a stream where I went through the tutorial. I've thought about doing some dedicated videos like that at some point, but for me, I have a lot of video plans to do, and it's a matter of actually sitting down and completing the project, because I'll have an idea and then something else pops up and I just don't get back around to it. Ground drain build? Yeah. I was on the AP weapon still. Yep. Fleet dilithium? Yeah, I think that is an option, honestly. That's a good one. Good call, yeah. Good. Those are done. Um yeah. This map has a social zone, yeah. But dilithium, if we could get dilithium vouchers instead, that would definitely be a good incentive to some people. You know, imagine if you had the option instead of getting marks, it just gave you an option for like, do you want like 5,000 lithium vouchers for your fleet? You know, that'd probably be an incentive to some people. And I do wish that they would change that for fleet stuff. Yes, Chromnic, I should have been crouching there. But me bad. The fleet dill does need to be used, like it should be usable for buying fleet items. The fact that it isn't sort of sucks right now. Okay, let me go back to... Actually, I need to do the uni, and that'll also get me my my lower endeavor done. So, does anyone want to do a gateway to Grethor on Elite? Nick, I know you're just I know you're around, Nick, and I know you really love Gateway to Grethor, don't you? Hello there, Mr. Exploding Minotaur. Okay, so I got Webs, JB, Asgard, and Chell. Those are the first four to respond for Gateway to Grethor. Let me... Do I bring in the Beam Overload build? Yeah, I will. Repdil should be able to be used at the rep stores? Yes, absolutely. I should probably put DPRM back on this build. Let me beam up to space here quick. Exploding Minotaur. Terrible ranger. Calling me out for my my bad piloting there. Warships. Okay, so let's see, who do I have on my friends list here? JB, I know you said you wanted in. Yeah, I still think they need to go back through and revisit the stuff that they just put in the into the fleet stores. Like those technicians should be better than what they put them in as. Webs, I don't remember if I have you in game. Just drop your @ handle in chat here. Get you invited. Chell, are you in here? Oh my, there's a random MB right there. Webs at Webs, okay. Only at 15% of the loading screen? Yeah, don't you love that? Patrick, how are you doing, man? Your poor temporal character remains stuck at the bloody Omega particle minigame, same as last week, where I think I remember you were saying it was like stuck. Like it wouldn't progress for you at all? That's not good at all. How are the tables looking? I haven't looked. They're on. Michelle, how's it feel to know that your record in ISA still stands and will probably never be beaten? How's that make you feel? Ed, yeah. I would like for them to revisit that. I think another good thing that they could do is everyone ready also? Let me ask in here because there might be a bit of a delay. Yeah, but they should make it so you can sell the Epic Phoenix tokens. Webs, are you good to go? Gateway to Grathor leaked. Who does runs right now? Nobody. I think Vivo is doing HSCs right now, but that's literally the only group doing runs right now. Okay, I'm gonna pop us in then, and we have to wait for this to go anyways. Let me slap DPRM back on here just so I have some survivability. Let's go. Dynamic. Drop the Bozeman console for right now. Well, I think that if they put the Epic Phoenix tokens as like something you could sell, I think the price would probably end up being around $750 to a bill. Because even though the drop rate sucks, if we assume that drop rate is accurate of being like 1 out of every 900 or so, then that's still like that's 60-70 bucks per Epic token. JB, you and I want to go right, and everyone else go left, or just go wherever. Just make sure we get enough people on both sides. Oh, Chow, that looks wonderful. Very immersive. Yeah, I opened like 40 last week and got one. That is the face of Middle East. Wow, terrible Triz. Yes, I will be on Triz's podcast later tonight. I don't remember what time we're starting, Triz. You can drop that in. But be on there with Stu, Sarcasm, and Triz talking about a bunch of Stow topics. Okay, I turned the brightness way too far up on this monitor and need to turn it back down, so just give me a minute.
Shipyard troop transports are beginning their run to the planet.
Closing. You already got this one.
Shipyard troop transports are beginning their run to the platform.
It's been so long since I've run this queue. You literally just want to blast the boss in this mission? I know you do, Chell.
Shipyard troop transports are beginning their run to the platform.
The nice thing about these sensor-linked weapons is you can tell the sound difference when your beam overload misfires because of STO's really high-quality servers.
Transports are beginning their run to the platform.
Should have slotted PFP for this, to be honest. Probably would have been beneficial.
Shipyard troop transports are beginning their run to the platform.
I'll catch up on chat after this.
Shipyard troop transports are beginning their run to the platform.
Any recommendations to shoot for the Infinity Weapon Packs? I like the bowls personally because people go nuts for the Vandy shields. But I think ball weapons are still like some of the best, especially for like tanking or support.
Shipyard troop transports are beginning their run to the platform.
Rip, I should have slotted PFP for this. I could have kept them alive. The Bowel of Vandy Shield, most of the Vandy Shields are random drops from specific weapon packs. So like isn't it Covert can get you the Section 31 Vandy Shield, I think it is? Yeah, I got it. Now we wait for the boss. I'll catch up on chat after this.
A Herald dreadnought has entered the system. The remaining Herald ships are rallying around.
Chell, I
the
want this
dreadnought.
thing to be one shot.
Take out those ships and defeat the Herald.
Chell's entire point here is that he wants to one shot the boss with Thaler on pulse. Chell, I think you may have been too far away. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Where's the boss at? Oh, there's a random ship left over on the other side.
Our troops have landed.
There we go.
We will fight
Good game,
for
everyone.
us. Thanks to your assistance, Kapla.
Kathy, thank you for the $4. Very much appreciated. The visual effects make it hard to see, everything. Good chunk of fleet marks there. Got the uni done, and that. Thank you, everyone. I actually was looking back at some older videos yesterday, and let me see if I can find this. I wanna see if I can find this content gateway. So I was looking back at older content on my channel, and I saw that I had a video from 2015 where we were like just really excited to be one of the first groups to be able to do Gateway to Grethor. And it's just like, damn, the game has changed so much since that. The DPS scene is nothing like it used to be. The DPS scene's basically dead nowadays. This was way back when the deep scene was still really active, and it was a different time for the game. Scimitars were still the way. Like AP, Fire at Will was still the way to play the game. Oh, this is rough too. I was using Omega back there. Attack Parent Omega's a bit rough. Visual spam? Yeah. Show the build? I've shown this one before. Yeah, the rewards are not balanced for a lot of these queues. Especially like given the time investment, Elite should reward a lot more for how long most of the Elite content takes, or the increased build requirements. Oh, I don't have that build around anymore, Triz. Like, just looking at this video, like, it's like, no, okay, so it's anti-proton dual beam banks, 2 AP Omnis aft plus KCB. So it's like what I've got on right now, except I'm using Beam Overload instead of Fire at Will. Is the sensor linked really worth investing into? No. Sensor linked is fine, but generally I am of the belief that people spend way too much time focused on the weapon types in this game. Like you were talking about Tetrion before. you could slap a Tetrion build on this and have fairly comparable performance. What is the most important requirement for a DPS build? Traits definitely have, a massive impact, especially at this point. There's no doubt about it. Like, when you start to get into the higher performance tiers, the game becomes extremely pay to win. But piloting definitely, like, it doesn't matter if you have all of the right stuff. If you don't know how to pilot your ship, it doesn't matter. I remember I've seen people copy, and I think we've all probably seen people copy like a build out there that's posted to Zuin like several 100,000 DPS or 1 million plus. Some random person copies it and they don't get 100K with it. Like, it doesn't matter. The build can be perfectly tuned, and perfectly optimized. But if the person flying it doesn't know what the hell they're doing, it doesn't matter. A Borgdorf that you can't slot or sell. I think the Borgdorfs, I like the Borgdorfs, but I think they're a little bit overrated. Like, the Borgdorfs are cool. They give you a good chunk of crit. But, is something like a 27, is a 27 really going to give you, like $50 worth of improvement on your build? Yeah. Well, it's not just that, Hans. It's also the fact too, like, if you actually want to compete at a, like top of the table levels nowadays, you have to have a team. And a lot, for you to get a team, people have to be able to do the multiple roles. So it's even more expensive because, if you're actually playing in a team and you're being a team player, you're doing, you've got a tank build, support build, and then of course your DPS build, and it's so expensive. Okay, I did miss a few things in chat. Let me get caught up here. Yeah, Kigo, I would very gladly trade a few Epic Phoenix tokens for a T6 lockbox or promo pack. Absolutely. Yeah, Patrick, or not all of the weapon packs, but a lot of the newer ones usually have a Vandy shield in there as a random drop. And it's a gamble also. It's a fairly low drop rate. Trying to find a purpose to single cannons. There's not really a purpose to single cannons. They're basically a trap. There are weapon type in the game that are less effective than the other options out there, and are only ever used on suboptimal builds. Like, it's basically just one step above doing a full turret setup on your ship. Sure, it'll still do some damage, but it's gonna be doing like nothing compared to a proper build. Single cannons are just a uh, very dated idea. I did get a couple of these. Yeah, Tetrion, Plasma, Polaron. People usually value those lower. It doesn't matter. Use whatever color of weapons you want. Ignore the even. I know that Phaser and Disruptor technically have the most things to synergize with them, especially with like the Terran, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have that on. Unless you are actually chasing DPS, and trying to get higher on the table, then of course that matters. But you can do perfectly fine and more than enough if you want to go with like a pure Polaron build. I ran my VOD War Juggernaut with the pure Polaron, like VOD War Polaron setup for a while a couple years ago and did perfectly fine. Yeah, it sucks to not have the Terran, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah. Let's see here. Kigo, do you have security DOF slotted on your ground roster? Remember, the security DOFs have a hard cap of 3, and that cap is shared between space and ground. So if you have 3 security officers on ground, you can't slot, on space. So check, make sure if that's not the issue. That's an old issue that I wish they would change that, but they won't. Not to mention most good teams don't play anymore. Exactly. Um, yeah. The DPS scene's nice, but I feel like I'm a little burnt out with it right now. Partially for the fact that, most of the good teams are gone. Like when Game Freak's got his 3-2, it's like, yeah, I could spend the time to beat this, and we could spend the time getting it down to beat that, but what's the point? It's not like I'm competing against a ton of other people. I'm competing against one person, and why would I want to dump a ton of resources in to compete against one person? I know WeWo, WeWo does runs too, but when the Agony stuff was still around, the general sentiment was that because they weren't doing split runs, the competition potential from them in IS was not as large as, from Game Freaks. Headless Horseman, just watched your massive opening of R&D promo packs on Tribble and saw your live. Just wanted to say hello. Thank you for watching that video, and thank you for stopping by. That R&D promo packs video, that drop rate's a bit rough. But it's good to have that drop rate info out there, and even though it is on Tribble, keep in mind for lock boxes and promo packs, those drop rates have been confirmed also to align with the expected behavior on the live server. So it's only Phoenix that has a different drop rate over on Tribble. Speed, the Jim'Hadar ships have pets beside them, Alpha and Beta, Y Starfleet, and Klingons and Rumbling. Yeah, so that's meant to be as something to incentivize you to use the Jem'Hadar ships because they have lower demand than the other faction ships. So that's their niche thing, is that they have those Jem'Hadar wingmen. I don't know if they'll ever expand that out to the other factions. Ed, I would very much like to see that. Or like, I don't know, CSV as is, I do agree is fine, but CRF, I think CRF could use like some sort of new unique feature set like that to make it interesting again, because rapid fire has fallen way out of favor. At least that's pretty lucky there. I've had a few things like that happen over the years, and that it's really rare though. So definitely, if that happens, go out and buy a lottery ticket. Yeah, JB, I wish they would go through and fully allow re-engineering on all lobby gear and the mission gear. But I don't think they're really doing tons with mission gear nowadays, are they? Like all the newer missions really haven't had a ton of unique rewards. It's always the events associated with the new mission that have the things that we would have used to have gotten as like a mission reward. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of this event approach they're doing for like the space sets or the ground sets. I'd much rather have those continue to exist as the mission rewards rather than a limited time event. Yeah. especially in Stowe. Gambling, you're almost always going to lose gambling here. Yeah. Caught up on chat there. Go back in game. So I asked this before, and this was at the start of the stream, but I want to just get another second round of opinions here now that there's about 3 times as many people in here. What type or like what ship would you guys like to see a beam overload build done for? That's like on a video. Earlier there were a couple shout outs for the Malon. The Enterprise J got a shout out, I believe, and then there was the Disco D7. Chell, quitting STO's endgame, playing better games is meta. You're not wrong. To be entirely fair, that is like all of the good players, like the good DPS players. That's exactly what's happened. Is they just quit the game and go play something else. I don't have the Kobayashi Maru. I don't have Quark's Marauder. Is it still not possible to get event progress? I haven't tried for a number of days. No, you should be able to get event progress. I did it last night. In fact, I'm eligible for one right now. I'm going to do an AFK Lupiter while I talk to you guys here, because AFK Lupiter or Upiter, however the hell you pronounce it, is the best way to play the events here. So I'm going to go into an Upiter Eratus. And while I talk to you guys and take a look at some of the ships you guys are recommending, I'm going to have this AFK going off in the background.
The Terrans will be a
Terran Galaxy could work for Beam Overload as it's a temporal 5/3. Nick, thank you for the membership there, 7 months, and your recommendation is the Malon. You really want me to do the Malon, don't you? I do want to shout out too that I'm going to be doing 2 streams next weekend. I just remembered to mention it. I'm going to be doing 2 streams next weekend for the Fleet Week stuff, except I'm not doing the Fleet Week like they're doing it, where they're doing is like just to talk about ship models. I'm going to be actually doing fleet stuff, so I'm going to have a character sitting out on a Fed fleet map and a KDF fleet map and doing invites, doing some giveaways for fleet-related items. I'll catch up on chat here in a minute. I'm about to go and AFK this, remember, so...
Activate the holo projectors. Let's hope they get the job done.
So... File, copy, and date. Let's take a look at like some C-store ships I saw there too. Terran Galaxy could be interesting. Mark's question is, what would be the best Beam Overload C-store ship? Let's take a look at ships that have a source as the C-store. And I will only look at C-store, not any of the bundle, legendary, or MUDs ones. So for Beam Overload, I think my preferred approach would be 5/3. So I'd go for 5 forward weapons, 2 or 3 aft. Experimental weapon would be fine. I would want a... I think I'd want, yeah, a Commander Temporal for Beam Overload. And that really narrows it down, doesn't it? The temporal warships, which I know Chell absolutely loves, and then the Terrence Ignis. Um, between these, I feel like one of the warships would be your best, and the Jemadar warship does come with the wingman mechanic, so that's got that going for it. It's a 5-3. It's 5 TAC consoles, and it does have a fleet version, so you don't even have to get you don't have to technically buy the C-Store one. You can just go out and get the fleet one with 5 fleet ship modules. I'd have to say the best beam overload ship in the C-Store is probably, yeah, the Jemadar Vanguard Temporal Warship. Yeah, they are good for fleet ships. Yes, absolutely. The fact is, you can get it, yeah, without even buying the C-Store one. So that's always a nice thing, because that means free to play. Once you get your reputations up to tier 6, you can use those fleet ship modules to get this ship. Though I don't think beam overload is the best budget option, right? But yeah, this is a good ship. You know, Chell's right. It's 5-3. You can do a beam overload setup on it. 5 TAC consoles. It's got the wingmen. CSV is the budget option. CSV does not get as much love as it should, though. Yeah, CSV Cannon Scatter Volley is always the best budget build option. It's just people don't like it because they don't like the appearance of cannons firing from their ship. Just a couple questions here, so let me get this over here. Is the Jemadar attack ship still a good choice? Yeah. The legendary one especially is actually a really good ship. Legendary Jemadar attack ship and the Jemadar captain bundle is a ship that I can very much recommend going out and getting. When there's a sale, of course. What is my dream concept ship for Stowe? A legendary Mogai, with a bridge Oster seating comparable to the Vodwar Juggernaut. Like I could go for a legendary Mogai, Valdor, whatever the hell you want to call it, that's got something comparable to the Vodwar Jug, like that Merrick Worker Intel combo. Make it a really good legendary do ship. Will we ever see a ship with a 6-4 weapon setup? No. I mean, the game engine supports it. I remember Jet saying when she was there that she tried a scimitar with 50 forward weapons internally just to mess around with it, and the game engine did not like it at all. So that would not go well. Do I think we'll be getting anything free during Fleet Week? They're giving some codes away to some CCs, I believe. KDF. The superior DPS platform legendary scimitar. Nick, thank you for the 2 Australian man. I don't know. Some of the character models, look good. Some of them look like they could use an update. How it is. It usually just depends who they had working on it at the time and how or like what their capabilities were at the time they did that model. I think for most people, Miracle Worker might be better for beam overload. It really depends. There's a lot of people that like to just spam bar everything, and if you just like temporal is better for beam overload, but if you're just spam barring your recursive, you're not getting as much out of it, as you would if you were manually timing it. That popped up really late. Thank you again, Nicholas. New Picard trailer on Twitter. I'll have to check that out after the stream. Let's see here. Am I that far down in chat? Legendary Negvar when? I don't know. Yeah. That's the nice thing with those temporal warships is they are completely free to play accessible. Shell don't even, that's terrible. They would probably do that. That's the unfortunate thing. I think even for advanced, the Jem'Hadar warship, if you have survivability issues, just toss on one or two of the colony tac consoles. That should be more than enough healing for normal and advanced. Two experimental weapons or a secondary deflector experimental weapon combo. That could be really interesting. I wish they had more good experimental weapons. I have both of the T6 promo bugs myself also, but I will tell you, if you want a better version, get the legendary. The legendary version of the bug ship is the best version in the game. It's a proper 5-2 weapon setup. The bridge officer seating on it is much better. It's just all around a much better ship than the promo bug ships. Yeah, Mark, I think that'd be good to say. That probably for a more casual player that doesn't want to manually time recursive, that Miracle Worker would be better with Beam Overload. Best fed ship for tactical temp recruit. That depends really on what you're doing there. Your class doesn't really matter. What matters is the type of build you're doing. Are you doing a Beam Overload, Cannon Scatter Volley? Yeah. Legendary Voth Bulwark Dreadnought Cruiser. I don't think that's ever going to happen, unfortunately. Legendary ones I could just buy out of the C-store, yes, and I would wait for a sale. They occasionally do 35% sales on the legendary stuff. We just had one a week or so ago, so there's probably not going to be another until like the end of November. But if you can wait for those sales are better. Temporal ships have an ability on them called recursive shearing. Recursive shearing will take the amount of damage you do and deal some additional based on what you did over that second. So recursive works really well with single target builds like Beam Overload, and if you use it correctly on a bigger target, it will make it much easier for you to take that target down. It's a huge amount of DPS. Like if I go and look at a run that I did yesterday, like recursive in this run was like where I did 602k DPS in this HSE on a Beam Overload build. Recursive shearing, which is a lock to temporal ships, did 95k. Yeah, Acheron is useful with Beam Overload, yeah. And that is all you have to do for the daily, is you just go in and kill the first group and AFK the rest. Need to see that trailer. Yeah, and the trade-off, the legendary bug ship, Vanguard Specialist, does double the duration of recursive. Here. Vanguard Specialist makes it so recursive lasts for 10 seconds. So recursive shearing is taking the amount of damage you do every second and then giving you an additional 30% based off that. And it also factors in any damage that your teammates do to the target also. I've got it on here. And Headless, yeah, it's the Dominion Captain bundle. So just wait for a sale. The trailer is very related to STO. If I play it here, it's going to be with audio off. Okay, I see. I'm just looking at Twitter and I see that there's pictures of the Enterprise F from Stowe in there. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to play the trailer on stream because I have had issues whenever I play like a trailer, that especially any music like that it'll hit the entire stream, and I don't want to deal with any copyright stuff. So let me find the trailer here and I will link that in chat for you guys to watch. Is it on? Guess I gotta pop Twitter back open, don't I? If someone has the link, just drop it in and I should be able to approve it. Yeah, Mark, for Elite, I do run the Vanguard Specialist trait, yeah. If Spencer were a ship, he'd be a Delkina. Intel temp seating is just perfect. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna find this video. Found the Star Trek tweet. Okay. Let me get this linked in chat here. So there's some there's the trailer for the new Picard season, or another trailer for it, so go check that out if you're interested. But the Enterprise F from Stowe is in there. SS3 with Recursive 1 would need to... Yeah, the Legendary Ambassador is the only ship with that combo, Mark. And yeah, it is sadly a 4-4 weapon setup. I think that's like part of what's wrong with like the ship model in Stowe too. I was talking to Triz about this the other night, and I think he wants to talk about it on the podcast tonight. But the reason we get so frustrated with Stowe is because just overall the ship model, the way that they've approached it, sort of sucks. You know, when you look at a ship, you know, you can't change the bridge officer seating, the stats on it. Whatever that ship has, it's fixed. When is the stream? I think it's, let me see when True's had it scheduled for. I think it's at like 10:30. It's like 6-7 hours from now, I think. Yeah, 7 hours. So it's fairly late tonight, but I'll be on there with Stu, Triz, and Sarcasm Detector. But the issue with the ship model in Stowe is that, you know, everything's fixed. Now imagine if when you got a ship, you know, the ship was broken down into a few different components. There's, you know, the actual model. Then there was like a different module you could slot to have a different weapons configuration. Another module you could get to have different console layouts. And like most importantly, a different module you could get to get a different bridge officer seating on a ship. Like imagine if this system was modular and they monetized that. You know, imagine if you could pay to swap out to a different bridge officer seating on a ship. Imagine you could swap, you know, out the weapons layout. So you have a ship model that you really like, but you want to put a better layout on it. Imagine if you could do that, how they could monetize things so much more in this game. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be really late, so yeah. Yeah, I could see them being, making things real expensive without a doubt. But that could be a good way if they did a modular setup like that with ships, that they could go in and monetize ships even more. Like, imagine if you have to go out and buy, like, let's say I want this layout from the D7 Temporal Battlecruiser. Let's say I want the layout from this ship, the bridge officer layout. I want to use that on other ships. So I have to buy the ship, and then I can pay to get that module that I can then go and slot on other ships. Something like that would add another layer to the game and would provide a new way for them to monetize things. Yeah, and the idea is not perfect. Like, it could end up meaning that they would struggle selling some newer ships, but um, the idea with it then too is that it gives people reasons to buy, some ships that they normally wouldn't, or things like that. I know that, I mean, obviously a lot of things would have to be figured out with something like that, but I think something like that, if like some approach like that, could be really interesting for the game. Yeah, that is true. It would be pretty complicated. Charge you $500 for it? Yeah. Um, they said already that the Borg ship from Picard season 2 was too big to put into the game. I mean, that didn't stop them from putting the Enterprise J in, but um, I would like to see that Borg ship in the game, but I don't know if they'll do it. Headless Horseman, thank you for stopping by. They'll listen to you on that one while ignoring all your gameplay suggestions. Yeah, that's usually how it go. Why does everything have to be so bloody dark and depressing? Yeah. The game is expensive without a doubt. Like, I I would like to, there's things in the game that I want to get. Like I mentioned the legendary Miranda. But like if I look at the cost of some of these bundles in the store, like if I look at the most expensive bundle in the store, and obviously if you ever bought this, you would wait for a sale, but that's $600. You know what I can get with, that type of money? Like, I can get a whole computer for that. Like, ignore the fact of all the games you could get. I can go out and I could buy, a Steam Deck for that much money. It's just the amount of other things you can do with that type of money. It's ridiculous. Like, this game is way too expensive for what it is. Aelith, terrible. Terrible Caliph. Yeah. That's one of the things that's always annoying with Stowe too is you look at a stream and it's just like time after time they just keep saying we don't have the team capacity to do that anymore. And that's a bit demotivating sometimes. Yeah, Martin, if they ever did a system like that where it was modular, they would absolutely have to like the way they monetize it, it would have to be expensive for one, and it would have to be limited. Like every time you want a copy, or like every time you want this specific bridge officer set up, you're paying a lot for it. You know. Yeah, Star Citizen. I haven't played Star Citizen in a while, but I know Stu is. I think they've actually, like, I know that there's a lot of memes about it, and I've memed about it a ton myself in the past, but I do think Star Citizen has actually got a fair bit that you can do in the game now. Yeah, just downscale it. I wish, but you know how they are. SCO is more than one star system. That's true. But I imagine the complexity of the Star Citizen star system is much more complex than the Stowe one, which is, there's a planet there. Yeah. That aligns with what I've heard. That they are still a bit away, but that content is being added. I always check the market on these Reman Bridge officers just to see if anyone's screwed up in pricing. Nope. For the next console story episode, yeah, that's rough. The delay between releases in Stowe is getting really brutal. Wait, they're not doing the console's not getting this new story mission until next year? That's absolutely ridiculous. That is brutal. Like, look how expensive 27s are. For a billion EC, do you think that really adds that much to your ship? Like 20% crit severity and 2.5% crit chance is cool, but are you really, for a billion EC, is that really that significant? Stowe is 12 years old. Stowe's been around for quite a long time. I would not pay 500 mil for 26 either. It's so fine, Chell. Fine. I'll do it. I don't have many of these 26 duty officers though. So let me find where I've got them. So Cyrus, how you doing? Chell just needs to gamble more? Yeah. Need to find where I've got this Doff at. Just give me a minute, Chell. Um the console audience, from what I understand, it's basically the amount of total players on or PlayStation and Xbox was like comparable to the PC size, but that's info from a few years ago. I have to imagine the PC part of the game is just more lively. Um, here. But I don't think I could ever play the STO on console. Outside of the content releases, being so delayed, the interface to me just doesn't look as good. And I've heard from people that move from console to PC that it's basically a new game. Like STO on console is basically like the mobile version of the game. Just isn't as like fleshed out as the PC side. Gotta find where I've got this off, Chell. Is it in my mail? It's in my mail because it wouldn't sell. Yeah, PC is divided also, but at the end of the day, all PC players are on the same platform. Like, if you're on Steam or Epic, you're still on the same servers as people through Arc. Whereas on console, the people on PlayStation are on an entirely different server than those on Xbox, right? So the console player bases are divided. So both are like combined, they may add up to as many people on PC, but realistically, each one has half the players, as PC. So that's just brutal for the market. It's a nice interior. I haven't been on this Borderskew Bridge in a while. A bit dated though. How many concurrent players does this game have? It's hard to say an exact. That's not something that they really detail. But if you look at like Steam charts for the people that are just playing the game through Steam, which is a lot of people in that play this game will play through the standalone launcher or Arc or Epic rather than Steam. But if you look through Steam, it's usually got a couple, like at least 1,000 people on at a time. Did not receive the invite. Strange. That's character you're on? Yeah. I I fully agree there. If they ever shut down console stow, then that would be a sign of things not going great. Okay, let me get this trade done and then there you go, Chelly. You happy? That excite you, Chell? Yeah, crossplay would have helped this game massively, but they didn't do it. Fosgate. Hey Spencer, thanks for helping the Stoic community. Question for a topic at some point. When you tank, do you use attack pattern Delta Prime, and do you need threat for it to work? Yes, you have to have threat for Delta Prime to work. But I actually don't use Delta on my tank, or any of my tanks anymore. I use attack pattern beta, and let me swap over to my tank character so I can explain why. Yeah. But with attack pattern beta, beta's up all the time and will allow you to debuff everything you're shooting, which is much more beneficial um than Delta, which is only going to debuff things that shoot you. And for helping your team, debuffing everything that you can hit with your fire at will is going to be much more beneficial. So attack pattern beta is doing more for you and your team than delta is. And there's also the fact that there's now duty officers you can get, like A-47, that have a chance to give you attack pattern delta when you hit certain abilities. So I'm on my sticks, I use A-47 that can trigger off of attack or command abilities, and when that goes off, it gives me an attack pattern delta. That will then stack on top of my beta. Yeah. And then you could use Delta Prime with these doffs, but I wouldn't. Um, I prefer to just lean into attack pattern beta because I also have the Agent Nerul off from, or on the KDF side, I think it's like Agent Ayal or something. And this is from the Delta Operations expansion pack. Basically, every attack out while you have attack pattern beta up will heal you. So, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think Jay was saying to me that he tested it over on STO Better, and the ball refractions also trigger the beta healed off here. So every refraction is also healing you. So that's pretty significant. Like beta's going to debuff more than delta, and it's also going to heal you if you have this duty officer. Which ships have? Let me. Do I still have the ship list up here? Give me a minute. So the question is, other than the legendary D7, or not legendary, the D7 Temporal Battlecruiser, what ships have Intel and Temporal? Let's take a look at that. Let me reset the filters here. Let's get rid of sources. So needs to have Intel. And let's just reset the weapon filters here. So assuming we want to have at least a Lieutenant Commander Temporal, these are the 4 ships in the game that have both a temporal at a point where you can do recursive, and then intel for like OSS. And it's not a ton of options. Like the Mere Angle Strike Wing Escort. This is the one that's in the 12th anniversary bundle. If you buy the entire bundle, the Mere Strike Wing Escort that has superior area denial on it. This can, somewhat do it, but you are stuck with recursive 1 instead of recursive 3. The Legendary Ambassador from the 11th anniversary bundle can go the other way. It can do Surgical Strikes 3 and recursive 1, but it's a 4/4 that can't equip cannons, which sort of sucks. And then there's the Edolg, but that's a science ship. Oh yeah, Fosgate, I would sell the Delta Prime 250 mil. Yeah, I'd post that. Like Delta Prime's cool, but beta, I think beta overall is a much better attack pattern for people to use. Check a message here. So I guess really your only option there, CSA, is the Mere Strike Wing Escort for that specific combo. But something else you could look into is like Miracle Worker alongside it, but there's not really a good option there. If you look for a ship that has a high temporal seat and then Miracle Worker, it literally is just the legendary Dareidex. Is that right? Let me reset these filters. Let me make sure I don't have something else. So Let's do Miracle Worker and Temporal. Yeah, it's just the legendary DD. That's not a great ship. If we're looking for ships that have the ability to do recursive for beam overload. It's a bit rough. Legendary DD, and it's also a 4/4, but at least it can equip dual cannons. But if you're doing beam overload, that doesn't matter. The legendary D7, that's a good beam. Like that's just in general a good energy weapon platform. I'd like to get this ship, but at the same time, I can't justify, going out and buying it. It's too expensive for what it is. But it's got a commander Inge with intel and then a lieutenant commander miracle worker. If it were up to me, like there was a question before of how would I build out what would my dream ship look like for like the Mogai? Let's do new. Let's say legendary Mogai. Commander attack / miracle. Um, oh no. I do another attack. I'm just thinking out how I would build out the like a legendary Mogai right now. Just out of curiosity. If I'm doing it for like duo purposes. Try make this like a Lieutenant Commander Inge. Lieutenant Commander Uni. What's that put us at? That puts us at 10. A Lieutenant something. I'm just thinking of how you'd build out a warship type, yeah. Legendary Mogai warship. Actually, I don't know if I'd want it to be a warship. Hold on. Also, if anyone has a boost that they can toss at the builds Discord, we are one short. So if anyone has one, we just need one boost in the next 2 days to maintain level 3 on the server, which allows us to maintain the discord.gg/STO builds. So if anyone has a Discord Nitro membership or wants to toss like $3 at the Discord, the builds Discord, that would be very much appreciated. Let me see here. I think Fleffel just did a breakdown of like the mastery packages. At user. It's just not going to work. Okay. Fleffel did a thing the other day, looking at like the mastery packages on ships and breaking down what each one had. And remember, with the legendary Mogai being a Romulan ship, it would have a different like mastery package. That's what I was wanting to find on here. I can't seem to get this thing to work. From Leffel. I just can't do this right now. Botting out. Did he post it on Reddit? What would we do here? Lieutenant Sai. Lieutenant Tack. Oh no, let me think. Honestly, for like a for a I got the bot. Um for a do build, I'm just thinking of what I would do on like the Mogai. I don't know what we'd call it. Warship could be cool. I don't remember all of the mastery packages for Romulan ships though, off the top of my head. But something like this could be interesting. I mean, it could probably be tuned a little bit, but just something along this general approach would be interesting for a legendary Mogai to me, because this will let you do, your Merc worker stuff, your intel. You could do an EPTW3 if you wanted, or OSS3. Um, I don't know. I don't know how I would do these lower seats. But something along these lines would probably be what I would do for the Mogai. Just Merc worker and then intel. Make it similar to the Vodwar Juggernaut, but have something similar to the Vodwar Juggernaut in a legendary ship would be really great. Because not everyone likes the Vodwar Juggernaut. Casual Sab's dream build is a drain setup with an engineer. Need to put user in timeout for that one. Yes, there's nothing on Fed side like the D7. That's rough, yeah. Yeah, the Vodwar Juggernaut's cool, but it sucks to fly. I'd rather fly the Delkina personally, and I know that's also in the Muds bundle. Obviously that's in the current Muds bundle. But at the same time, like I don't want to buy this bundle. It's like the only things in here worth it are the Delkina and the sarcophagus. Everything else is junk. It's brutal. I do want to find this list of mastery packages. Did Fleffel post it on the subreddit, maybe? I just remember Fleffel would posted it somewhere. There it was. It was on the subreddit. So, the thing with the Romulan ships is that they're a warbird, right? So whatever mastery package they get is going to be different than anything else. I know this is really hard to read. So this mastery package, if we did a warship, the warship mastery package on a warbird would get, you would be losing the crit severity, to get the singularity charge and cooldown perk, which sort of sucks. I don't think there's a workaround for that though. I don't think there's another warbird option that has. Oh. That'd be the limitation with the Romulan ships, is you're giving up the crit severity in the mastery package to get the singularity boost. Waldo, how's it going, man? Why is the sarcophagus good? It's the trade on it. The trait on it is Honored Dead, which is a fairly good like tanking trait. Not every tank uses it, but it's good. It's a good for a lot of the people that would be setting up a tank. Your high-end tanks doing really high-end runs probably aren't going to use it, but 99% of people would benefit from it. From a more casual point of view is what I'm looking at it, if I'm just taking it into randoms, yeah. It's not cheap anymore for sure. If I look at it on the exchange, let's see. 55 million. None of these traits are really that cheap anymore, are they? It's good if you're selling. I like that, Waldo. The off-pack market is just not recovered at all. It's brutal. You put those over on a different character, rip those packs open quick. 2 Bakus for 8 mil, I'll take it. No, Martin, once those boxes on the exchange sell, they're done. The Borg, you will be assimilated. I wish, but unfortunately in this game, the Borg pretty much die when you look at them. Maybe someday they'll make the Borg hard again. More challenging. Great.
Hey, that's a great uniform.
Nope, I got screwed on those Dolph packs. Okay. The Stowe Enterprise is now canon. Yep. The Enterprise F is in the trailer for Picard season 3, which is nice. I know Stowe's going to be really. I can only imagine Twitter's going nuts about it. What if Borg adapted in space? I think the lore idea right now is that they do. It's just that our tactical officers on our ship are meant to, just behind the scenes, be constantly adapting our weapons to counter them. I think that's the logic Stowe gives. Real for these soft packs. I mean, there's how many Enterprise Fs in the game already? They don't have to charge insane amounts. I mean, you can go out and get the Enterprise F basically free. You know, with 200k fleet credits, even you can get the old T5 version. But the you know, how many versions of that ship are there in the game? Like, there's the Rarity. You know, there's how many different versions of the Odyssey here? She at Legendary Command Dreadnought Cruiser. And they've already got legendary versions of it. They got the mirror one that they just released earlier this year. They got loads of versions with it. Oh. Yeah, the Lexington. So yeah, there's lots of versions of it. That Borg Duff pack just screwed me over. Okay, that entire lockbox gamble just completely went bad. Did get a space trait box. Yeah, Lexington is extremely common in the game for sure. And people love it. I need to get some of these vanity shields posted while I'm here. Lexington's a good ship. Like, if you had one ship that you bought in the game, that would last you like a long time. It's a good ship. Yeah, I know, Martin. Opening in small amounts is terrible. I just sometimes get impatient and I want to gamble, you know? Domingo, I would like to see that, but I don't know if they will. I do not know if they'll go down that route. Okay, I know I need to repost this 24 because it was undercut when I looked earlier. Let me check this 22 also. 22 for Fed is 400. I'll post this up at 350. And the 24, I'll put that up for 800. Oh no. If they find that people aren't opening as many Phoenix packs, maybe they'll do that, but we'll have to wait and see. They could even just cycle them out. So one Phoenix event, they do the T6X token. The next, they do, an elite captain or something. Yeah, I mean, I'll get the Sagan eventually, the Stargazer, but right now I mean, I may as well wait for the next promo event to even attempt to get it, and I don't even know what character I'll put it on, to be honest. Yeah. Opening lockboxes is a terrible thing to do. So I mentioned this on Twitter. Let me bring it up here. I will be doing um two streams next weekend. So on October 15th and the 16th, I will be doing streams at different times to do some fleet focus stuff. During these streams, I'm going to be doing some giveaways related to fleet stuff, and I'm going to be doing map invites and fleet invites to people that want to get fleet stuff that their fleet doesn't have access to. So that's my plan for next weekend. You did the Lexington vid on attack. It doesn't matter what class you are. Your class doesn't matter really in this game that much, unless you are doing absolute min-max stuff. You do, whether you're on attack, Inj, or Psi, the actual build you're using, it's going to be the same regardless. The only difference is your captain abilities. That's the only difference between classes, which is why engineers generally aren't as popular in space, because they only have the energy boost, whereas tax get the damage boost and Psi gets damage boost and debuffs. Are you talking about like the skill tree or what? Because like the build should be the exact same regardless. Some chats here. The bars. Um, Go to character here. You have an issue with your spam bar? It's gonna load. Someone's watching something on my Plex right now. It's using up some of my CPU there. Terrible. Do I have... Yeah, I've got the Lexington here. I don't remember what I had on this last. CSV, okay. So what your issue is, your spam bar's not yeah, the server's absolutely a joke in this game. Server performance is absolutely abysmal. So they don't fire properly, so basically you're spamming your tray and they don't always go off. That's the game server. That's unfortunately, that's nothing I can help you with. I don't think that would matter if you were directly connected in. It's just that their servers, like if you were directly connected to their servers, I think you would still have issues because they've like really cheaped out on the servers for this game. The performance of things in a map can be brutal. Like the amount of times something will misfire, it really can suck. Unfortunately, there is no workaround for that. I'm going to do an ISA pug actually with this ship because I haven't used it in a while. The build on this is not perfect, but whatever, we'll see how it goes. See if I have any misfire issues here, because that's just, unfortunately, that's just the game. This is not perfect, but I'll run. I don't have inventory space right now, so I've got random crap in my inventory, and I've got the console from the ship slotted apparently, so yikes. %100% of record. Does it matter what order you put your space traits in? No. The order of your traits doesn't matter.
All attempts to hail the starbase have failed. We must assume the enemy has taken control. This is not acceptable.
Just gonna spam bar. Accumulating phaser lance. I've already missed some of my buff sequence. I'm missing things on my tray. Oh no. That's gonna be a rough one. Half my tray is missing.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Got it. Infiltrate that switch. Scanning the nanite transformer.
Oh no.
Got it. Infiltrate that.
My trays are messed up.
The nanite probe to repair the transformer. Stop now. My analysis of the nanite generator. Every additional remains an illusion.
Yeah, I know. I know. HL, I know.
Sensors confirm that the
That was
transport
rough. That
pod
was really not
destroyed.
great.
However, our scans of the starbase
To act like that run never happened.
We will need to send an away team there to look for survivors.
That was rough, Chell. I know. Only ships that have a full commander pilot are going to have that interface, and it's possible you may have moved them on your HUD. So just hit F12 to, make sure that they're somewhere not behind another box on your HUD or something. Yeah, for your sanity, Chell. Um, let's go to different ship. Expected more from the top fleet player, I know. Wonder what our last event will be for event campaign 4. I have to, I think I've got a good bet that it's going to be something that involves Upiter or Radis. We haven't done Upiter or Radis enough, so we need to do it more. Yeah, it'll be in November, most likely. Defend a Starbase or 3? Yeah. Gonna do a Cure Found Advanced. Some hard content. The Legendary Bug Ship is just such a good little ship. This engine visual is the Borg. The assimilated Borg stuff. Honestly, a defensive Starbase 1 event would be nice, because that's AFKable. Do something different. Just go in and do some AFK, that's a lot of buffs there, buddy. Ship moves a bit faster than things I've been flying recently. I know, Chell, it's low deeps, I'm sorry. Sorry for making you see that, Chell.
No weapons. You will escort us to your homeworld, where we will begin assimilating your culture and technology.
A Kier with hits less than 8 million? Yeah. I'm surprised people don't run Kier more. Like, I know Infected, is the the main thing people worry about for deeps, but if you're looking for a queue that you can actually get through really fast, like here's like a minute long. Osiris, you can get a map invite for that, man. You don't have to leave your fleet if you, so long as your fleet has the provisions. You know, so long as you have the provisions for that category, you can just get a map invite. Yeah, the Picard trailer is really, like, for everything I've seen is that it's really good. So I'm going to be checking it out after the stream. I don't want to look at it on the stream because I don't feel like dealing with any copyright issues. Also, like we talked about earlier about, you know, different weapon types, like this builds Vaadwaur Polaron. It gets through the content perfectly fine. Like, it's sure, if I was going for a Deeps record, it wouldn't be as good as Phaser or Disruptor. But it's good enough. Wingman bigger than the bug, yeah. It's true. But this build does fine. Like, if I do an Argala Elite, it'll get through it real fast. Osiris, you need that invite on Fed or KDF. Fed? Send me a messaging game, and I can send you a fleet invite if you want then.
You have entered an... Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their fall might come out of hiding. Keep concentrating fire on individual ships. Separate them. Whittle down their numbers. We will not go quietly. You will stand down and surrender to enemy guard. Sensors are picking up small habitations in some of the atmosphere, possibly consistent with multiple temporary hideouts. We do what we want, where we want. Picked up a sight of the transmission on a frequency. We're jamming that spectrum of their comms now. They were probably called for assistance. I'm taking you with me.
Like, sure, it's not the the fastest Argala clear ever, but it does fine. Like, that's Argala Elite in 2 minutes on,
Thank you for your assistance.
you know, Elite. That's as hard as it gets, so you don't have to have like Phaser, Disruptor, whatever to do well. You can literally use whatever weapon color you like. Like, I'm using some Vaadwaur Polarons here because on this build I like how they look. And like I said, it's Elite. It doesn't get any harder than this in this game. Vaadwaur Polaron stuff went through it perfectly fine. Other than I probably just hurt Chell's immersion with my piloting. And yes, the wingmen are bigger than the bug ship. But that's another perk about the legendary bug ship is it does get that wingman mechanic, and they will, you know, go follow you around and fight. Yes, Headless Horseman. This is the good bug ship. And like I said earlier, I've got the promo ones, but the legendary just is such a better ship. Okay. I'm going to start to wrap things up though. I will be doing a podcast later tonight over on Trizander's stream and or his channel. I'll link this in the description below. Or not in the description, in the chat. Osiris, it's Spencer B96, so I'll just type that. The he's got it scheduled to start in like 6 hours. So for any Europeans here, just check the VOD out. I don't remember what all we're talking about, but I'll be on there with MC Stu, Sarcasm Detector, and Triz. Yeah, you can add me. Just know that sometimes I go through characters a lot. So if it annoys you to have people logging in and out a ton on your friends list, then just know that that's gonna be something to worry about with me there. Might be hidden too, Osiris. That might not help. There you go, Osiris. You should have instant store access, because TVC, everyone's got store access. So I'll be on that podcast in a couple hours. And next weekend, like I was talking about, I will be doing a fleet focus stream. The first stream I'll be doing on Saturday next week at So the first stream will be at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so like 3 hours from now next week. I'll be doing a stream, and then I'll be doing another on noon on Sunday to be able to interact with the European crowd. And this is going to be just really fleet focused. So, map invites, fleet invites for people that want to get ships. It's not going to be a ton of gameplay, most likely. It's going to be sitting there talking to people about fleet stuff and helping people get the things that they need. So that's the plan for next weekend. Video wise, I say, a lot that I'm working on no game videos, and my next video is going to be a guide for something in O game, and then after that is going to be the next Stow video. See if I can find, like, this is going to be the O game video that I'm doing. It's going to be a guide for the mining stuff over in that game and the new expansion. And then for Stow, I don't know. I've got a backlog of things to catch up on for Stow. But that's going to be it for me today. Once again, thank you all for the continued support, all channel members, everyone that's stopped by. Next Stow content will be out on the channel Monday. Like I said, hopefully I'll be able to sit down and get that O game video done today so I can get that out tomorrow. But thank you all for stopping by. That's going to be it for me today. See you guys next time.